Good morning. Thanks for coming back to my channel. I'm just going to do a quick tutorial today on how to make a mini notebook. So I am starting off with a 12 by 12 piece of paper, but the longest edge on this is really 8. So you can use anything that's 8 inches long or more. I'm going to do some of the steps I've done already, like cutting out my pages, but I'll give you some guidelines on that. The supplies I have out for this is my thread for sewing the binding. I've got 2 daubers and my distress ink. I have glue. For some reason, I have pinking shears. We're not going to use those. And I have a couple of my other punches because I'm going to do some maybe edges. Okay, so the first thing you have to decide when you have a directional piece of paper like this is which way do you want the airplanes to go? So do I want this or do I want this? And I decided beforehand that I kind of want this, and that means I'm going to slice off this side. Okay, so we're going to come in 2.5 inches because this is going to be 8 inches by 2.5, right? Let's see. Yes, 8 by 2.5 inches. Here we go. We'll do the 2.5 first and take this paper, put it over here. This is out of the vintage travel paper from Michaels. Okay, and then we are going to do this guy here down to 8. Okay. All right, now I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to do my scoring. If you don't have a scoreboard, the thing I would do is just fold it in half, and then I'm going to do 1 inch on both sides to show you to have a little pocket, but I'll show you how that looks and you can decide. So the most important thing is to have to be able to fold it in half at the center. And so now I have my cover, and my cover is going to go like this, and then like this, and there we go. And there's my mini journal. So it's tiny. This is 3. No. This is 3. Yes, 3 by 2.5. Okay. All right. So put my board away because I don't need it anymore. All right. Now the next step is going to be just to do any decoration you want. Like, first of all, I'm going to round the corners. I like rounded corners on my pockets. And then second, I'm going to decide how do I want my pockets to go. So there are options here. One is you can do just this side and have a tuck here. You can do both sides and have a pocket. Or you can just leave them open flaps to like have take your place or save your place when you're not in your notebook. All right. So I think I'm going to leave this one as a flap. Glue. All right. This is the kind of glue I use. pH neutral PVA. I get this from booksbyhand.com. I've tried lots of other ones. I like this one the best. It dries clear. It's not messy. It's easy to clean up. All right. Now I will get one of these. So I've been doing this a lot lately where instead of just waiting for the glue to dry, just put a little guy right there so I can work on the other side. And then it dries pretty fast, but I like to give it a little extra time. And then I'm going to do both of these. There we go. All right. I also like to squeeze the corners. Even if I use my bone folder, they usually are apart when you glue, so I do that. All right. This guy is ready for the inside. now I cut this out beforehand. This is 5.5 by 2.5, and I am just gonna fold it in half, and then I am gonna use my bone folder here because getting that center to be really tight is helpful. All right, 2 ways to do this. One is you can do this with a piercing cradle and an awl, which I have, or you can just do it with an awl or something else with a very pointy end. I'm going to grab my piercing cradle. Because I am not great at doing things by hand. I'm just not very good at getting the measurements right, which is why I use tools. Okay, you stick this in the middle, get them all lined up, and I'm going to punch 3 holes for this one. 1, 2. I'm going to do this. 1 here. I'm going to skip 1 here, and then 1 here. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to get out my thread. Now with thread, you can use any type of, you can use anything, really. You can use anything to bind these. You can use string, you can use a couple other options, yarn, whatever you want to make it cute. If you are doing regular book binding, I recommend using a natural fiber. This one is a natural fiber that is waxed. So this is linen thread that is waxed. Okay. So I'm just going to get I can never get the thread through the other one, so I'll do this one because it's faster. Okay. First we go through the middle hole. We leave a bit of a tail. I just usually hold that with my thumb. Then I usually go to the top. I like the top hole next. You do not have to. You can go to the bottom hole next. And then back through the center. And then through the bottom hole. Oops. Don't want to come all the way through there. And then we put it under our first stitch up at the top. Pull it through. And now I have my binding and I need to tie off with a knot. I do a square knot, so I take the right over the left, pull it through, tie it down. Let's see if I can get it real tight. And then the left over the right. All right. And then just clip off the ends. And that's it. Super easy little project that you can do quickly with any paper that you have. I love these little mini notebooks. I think they're super fun, and you can just stick them wherever you need to have a pad of paper to take a little note. All right. Hope you enjoyed that. If you want to like and follow me, go ahead and do so. It helps me get a little bit higher in the algorithm so more people can see it. I'm going to take that out. Okay, thanks. Thanks for coming to my channel and listening to this tutorial. Please leave a comment below on what kind of paper you're going to use for this. And like and subscribe if you want to keep seeing videos like this from me. Thanks and happy crafting.